I am adding this little video to the beginning of the video that I made of Oak Flat Campground. Unfortunately, I have a very sad update. While I was still there at the campground before I left, I ran into Wensler Nossi and his family. He is a tribal leader and former councilman on the San Carlos reservation. He gave me the most recent update and news as to what is going on with the fight that the Native Americans have been fighting our federal government for the last 10 years. The government did get a recent win in courts. So basically, they are just one step away from losing this very holy and sacred place to their nation and their people that has been in their lives since the beginning of time. And they have ancestors buried there. I don't understand why the government thinks it's okay to destroy this very sacred place. It's so important to the Apaches. They've made their voice known and heard and fought the legal system to keep this holy land that happens to be on federal land in the Tonto National Forest. But the government is just going to let this be sold to an outside company, an outside country, to mine and rape the land for its copper. There's so much life force and energy at this place. It's just alive. I've had some really incredible spiritual experiences there myself. The first act that will be done is it will cut down all the ancient oak trees in this place and sell it to a company in Italy that's going to use the white oak. It's a very precious oak to make wooden bowls. I am so sad. Editing this video was very difficult after I found out the most recent update from Wensler himself, straight from his mouth. I was very fortunate to meet this man. I was very honored to meet him and have a couple conversations with him as he gave me a lot more history of this place and what it means to his people. It was hard making this video because as I watched through and edited all the clips, I realized that this video I made of Oak Flats and the campground there might be the last video ever made of this place before it's destroyed at the hands of our own government. I'm so angry. I am so upset. But they haven't lost the battle yet. As I speak, there's a huge gathering going on there of the tribal nations and the Apache Nation and all of their religious people. And the news is going to be there. There are going to be hundreds and hundreds of people gathering there this weekend. They're going to stand and they're going to fight. And even if this thing is finally a done deal and they lose their precious holy place, the people will not. They will not leave. They will stand, physically stand, arm in arm, and fight the people that want to come in and destroy this place. Again, I was fortunate enough to hear these words straight from Winslow. He is a very humble man, but he's a strong warrior. His people are strong warriors, and they will fight. They will not let this happen. Please pray. If you're watching this video, please pray for Oak Flats and for the Apache Nation and all Native Americans. They do deserve to have their religious sites remain and stay sacred for them to worship at. Thank you for praying.
Welcome to our channel where me and my pups, Bagel and Biscuit, explore, camp, and live for adventure in the great outdoors. We hope you enjoy our videos. Thank you so much for watching.
Good morning, everyone. Say good morning. Got Bagel and Biscuit. We've been spending a lot of time just swinging in the hammock, relaxing. Cheers, everybody. I made me some green tea with blackberry, cinnamon tea, and some honey. Sorry about the sun coming up back there. And yeah, this tea is really, really yummy. It's still a little bit hot. It's so funny, the pups love it up here with me. Bagels, I don't know if I can show you. She's closing her eyes, or she was closing her eyes. Hi, mamas. We just got back from a little morning walk. The nature out here is just gorgeous. And somebody just pulled up. I've literally, today is Friday. I got here Monday, and we've literally had the whole campground to ourselves. I've been the only camper here until last night. A minivan pulled in at a camp spot down the way. But yeah, so it's been really peaceful and quiet. Gonna relax, Biscuit. You're gonna relax, Biscuit boy. Yeah. I wish I could get Bagel's little face. There's her little face. Yeah, it's been a really, really tough week. Sorry, I'm trying not to get the sun glare in there. Bagel's been really sick. She's been a sicky girl. And I still have no answers to what's going on with her. They've done all kinds of tests. You know, you pay $500 for a whole panel of tests, and then they all come back negative, and they're like, well, then we need to test her for this, this, and that, and you pay a whole nother $500 for another round of tests. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, still don't know what's going on with her, but I didn't go too far. I didn't leave the valley and go too far because of her not doing well. She is doing a little bit better. They gave her some B12 shots, and they gave her some fluids, and yeah, she seems to be feeling a little better. She's still really lethargic. Basically, her body is starving itself, and she's not getting any nutrients from any of the food that she eats. Even she's dehydrated all the time. Like, it doesn't matter how much she drinks, she's just dehydrated, and she just poops and pees it all out. So she's lost 4 pounds. She's only 11. So hopefully when I get back to the valley today, I am leaving today, I'll get some answers. We do have a vet appointment this afternoon. But it's been nice up here. I didn't go too far. I'm just outside of Superior at one of my favorite camp spots. It's free camping, 14 days. It's called Oak Flat. A very beautiful place with a lot of history and a lot of trails. And I thought it would be nice for her just to be in nature, because that is our favorite place to be, where we could just relax and take naps in the hammock every day. So I didn't do a lot of filming. I was just trying to take care of Bagel and paying attention to her needs. And she's snoring right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that. She has a cute little snore. So our original plans for my fall break, I am off for 2 weeks. Kind of nice that I get that. But our original plan was to go to California in Ojai and meet up with Eric, Free Camper Man. And we were going to go up into the Pine Mountain and camp at Reyes Campground. That is an area I haven't quite been to yet. So we had to cancel those plans because of Bagel getting sick that week. And about the 3 days prior to us leaving, she just went downhill fast. So that's why we didn't get to go. We miss Eric and Pepe, and we were really looking forward to spending my 2 weeks off with them. But yeah, we are here in Superior, Arizona, and Eric and little Pepe went off on their own little camping adventure since they were all ready to go camping. So, that's okay. We got to do what we got to do, and we are very fortunate. Eric and I do get to camp quite often. So I'm not complaining. I also enjoy, and he also enjoys very much, our solo camping time. So we have to have a balance of both to be happy, and we definitely have that. So yeah, I'll have to make it up to Pine Mountain on another trip. I was really, really looking forward to that, but gotta take care of my girl. Gotta take care of Bagel Girl. I did some filming yesterday. I just kind of walked around the campground and just showed all the variety of different camp spots that are here, that you can pretty much pick a spot for any kind of camping setup or vehicle. And yeah, the temps have been nice. It's been up in the 80s during the day and down in the 50s at night. But we're under all this shade. There's a lot of oak trees here, and we were in a really good spot. I was able to back into this shaded area, and we kept pretty cool, and got a little chilly at night. It definitely feels like fall is in the air. It is about 10 degrees cooler up here than it is down in the valley. We're just under 4,000 feet elevation. So yeah, we're gonna pack it up here in a little bit and head back. So we're in town for her little vet appointment, and hope you enjoy the little walk around that we do of this campground. And I gave a little information, not a lot. This is an Apache stronghold area. This is very holy, sacred ground to the Apache Nation. And there are those in government that want to sell this to a company in Australia because they want to mine the mother lode of copper that happens to be here. But the Apache Nation is fighting it and asking all of us to help them fight it. And I believe you can go to, it's apache-stronghold.com. I did put it in one of the videos I did. You can go and find out what you can do to help save this beautiful, sacred, holy place to the Apaches. So the fact that we get to camp here is pretty amazing. But yeah, we're gonna sign off now. Probably take a little morning nap before we pack up camp. What do you think? Should we take a little nap and go night night? Yeah, get some rest. I love you, Bagel. You're a pretty girl. I love you. Go night night. Go night night. So this is our little campsite. We are up here just outside of Superior, Arizona at a free campground called Oak Flats. This place is super cool, has a lot of history here. This is called an Apache stronghold. The Apache Nation consider this whole area up here sacred to them and their ancestors. So I won't talk too much about that. I did a video already a few months ago about it. They are in a fight for their land. It is trying to be taken away from them. There's a whole long story about it. You can go back and watch that video. Possibly I will link it here in the description for this one. But yeah, we are underneath the canopy of these beautiful oak trees. And it's a nice shady spot. It was nice that I could just back right into it like this so that I also had exposure to the sun for my solar panels. Yeah, really nice spot. This is one of the bigger spots in the campground, so you could definitely fit a few vehicles or RVs, maybe a couple RVs in here. Yeah, we're gonna take a little walk and I'm gonna show you the variety of different type of camp spots here, which is a real plus, that there are so many different options depending on your camping style, vehicle, tent. This is the little road coming in here. Right up here is a smaller camp spot. I have camped here before. It's perfect for me to back my vehicle in. Most of them have little picnic tables and fire pits. Yeah, really cozy. All right, so walking up this road a little ways, there are a couple of vault toilets. This is one of them. We are at the far back end of the campground, and then there's a vault toilet up closer to the front, which I'll show you guys in a minute. There's a couple of smaller camp spots here where you can just park your vehicle next to the spot. If you have a tent, you could maybe set up a tent right down here in this area. I have seen, this is the far back end of the campsite, and I have seen a lot of the bigger ProMaster Sprinter type vans parked back in here, because you can park right up alongside a picnic table and have a fire pit and have a pretty level spot for your van. Here's the next spot over here. We're gonna actually go down in this camp spot because there's a little bit of a surprise down here. You can't pull your rig in here, but you can pull up alongside of it. You actually get 2 picnic tables here. There's your fire pit. And right over here, if you can see, nestled back in these trees here, is a little hut. Let's go check that out. All right, so there is a little path here. Hold on. My dogs want to sniff and explore when I'm trying to walk. This is gonna go around these bushes right here. And there's that little hut. These native huts are all over the campsite. And yeah, it does look like we can get in here. All right, so we can go back this way. There's a little trail here. And yeah, these things are so cool. How they're designed and built just out of branches and dried leaves. And sorry guys, I'm trying to walk and my dogs are wrapping their leashes around my legs. So if I stop suddenly or the camera shakes, I'm trying to get untangled. But yeah, so inside here, it looks like they've got a bunch of wood stored, maybe protecting it from the rain. As we walk around through the campsite, speaking of rain, you'll see a lot of evidence of, they just had a flood in here last weekend. And a couple of the campers got their whole campsite washed away, tents and all. So, you know, be mindful when you're camping and there's a lot of rain and flood warnings in the forecast. Do not put your tent or choose a campsite that is in a wash. Stay out of the washes. Not a good idea. All right, so here is one of those spots that I see a lot of bigger Sprinter vans, ProMaster vans parked in. They have a couple of picnic tables, a fire pit. There's no trees over here in this spot though. So if you don't mind not having the shade, I do see people camped in the spot a lot though. Probably a lot of people just coming for a night and they leave the next morning. All right, so we're gonna walk back down this road. Up ahead is the vault toilet. We just saw the back of it a minute ago. And I'm gonna show you guys some more camp spots. So the campground is pretty much empty right now. These people just pulled up a few minutes ago. Not a lot of people here camping during the week, but I am on fall break, so I've pretty much had the whole campground to myself. I will be leaving for the weekend, but I plan on coming back next week. Right up here around this bend are some more of those smaller campsites for the vans. They can just pull up here. There's these parking spots right here. And as you can see, you've got a few picnic tables. You've got your fire pits. This campground is a little higher elevation. We are between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. And here's another spot. I have seen there is a driveway that can pull into this spot here. I've seen a truck pulling a little like casita RV, maybe a tow, what are they called? I can't think of it. The little trailers. You could probably pull a bigger RV up in here, motorhome. Here's one driveway in, out, and then back there behind that tree is the other driveway. We're gonna keep walking around. This trail here, I will not go up that trail again. I did it once. Back behind there, back in this area, is a sacred burial site. Yes, you do not want to go there, mostly out of respect. You know, let's just respect the culture here. All right, so back in here, there are a few more spots. In this one right here, this is a great spot. I actually saw a schoolie camped in here one time. And then back here, we're gonna walk in. The campsite next to it is the other, I'm in the large camp spot. This is the other large camp spot. And I'll show you how large it is. Here's where the schoolie was parked, right in here. They've got their own fire pit, picnic table. But in here is the other big camp spot. You could fit a large group in here camping, but they have a couple picnic tables in here. This is part of the wash that goes through the campsite. There were campers in here last weekend, and their whole campsite got washed out. They did get a flash flood through this whole campsite. If you were on higher ground, you lucked out. If you were down in here, not so much. They basically packed up what they could, left their tent behind and their big air mattress, which is still sitting over here. One of the other campers, before they left the campsite, came in here and kind of cleaned the area up and moved everything aside over there. Yeah, so, you know, just be mindful of flash flood warnings, rain in the forecast, and don't park or set up your camp in a low spot at a campsite. Definitely one that's not right in a wash. Not smart. All right, we're coming up to the front of the campground area. There's the other vault toilet I told you guys about. A lot of the water has receded since I got here on Monday. This was all underwater. I had to drive around the edges of it to get to the back camp spot where I'm at. This one has definitely receded a lot. You can see where it was pretty much all the way up to the bank, and fortunately my narrow Honda Fit, I was able to squeeze in around it. Definitely would not drive through that. This whole area has a lot of cool things. One of those huts. They have a lot of vigils here. to try to save this whole spot, to save this land, to save this campsite, just because of the history here and what it means to the natives. There's these cute little benches under these oak trees. This is a native oak tree to Arizona. I can't remember the name of it. It's not your normal, usual oak. Pretty cool though. Because of all these oak trees is why it's called Oak Flats. We're gonna walk over here and meet Grandma. That's what they call this street back here. Here's another one of the oaks. But this one back here you can see with the massive trunk. This is Grandma. They call her Grandma. She's old. She's ancient. She's been here a really, really, really long time. She's just massive. I have my camera on wide zoom. She's so big, like I can't even get all of her in the frame. Yeah, she's just huge. Get a little closer up look of her. Hey, Grandma. It looks like they were burning sage or something. Look at this trunk. She's just massive. Another cool little spot. Love these little benches. They're in several places around the campsite. Alrighty, another cool little bench under the oak tree. So we do have some other spots you can pull up and park in the parking spot here. And just find a spot to set up a tent. There's another spot back there. They all have a fire pit. And then back in here, there's a couple more of these spots. That's where the camp host stays. We've got a spot here. Those tents, for some reason, are always there. I think they use them for the little ceremonies and vigils they have here. But yeah, here's some information on Oak Flats. 14 days, haul your trash out. Every time I come here, it's a really clean site. So whoever's camping here, take care and don't leave their trash behind, which is really nice. Do not take any of the vegetation out of the park. That is against the law. Do not do that. And yeah, you can actually go to their website if you're interested in finding out what you can do to help. Go to apache-stronghold.com and you can get more information about what's going on here and how they are trying to save this place. All right, so walking over here is the entrance into the campground. That road takes you out to the 60. It is right off the 60, so it's convenient to get to. And back, I'm not gonna walk all the way up this road, but up that road where you see that vehicle, there are more large campsites up in there all along this road as you turn that bend to come in. They're all over here on this side, but I'm not gonna walk all the way up there. But just know they're pretty large. You can fit big RVs on them and they're very level. So that's always a plus. But this is it. This is Oak Flats. Free camping, 14 days. A lot of history here. And you can hike a ton of trails. Tons and tons of trails. Even mountain bike back in here. And there's some petroglyphs that are not too far on a pretty easy trail that you can go look at as well. This is Oak Flats. There's my camp spot here. I wanted to show you guys that this was where the water flowed through. You can see all this dried up mud and it went right through this. This is a camp spot. You can see there's a fire pit right over there. But the water flowed through here, kind of came right down over this wall and flowed all the way through this camp spot and into the one that I showed you guys has the tent that was left behind. There actually is another fire pit here. I just saw it. It's right there. You can pull in to this camp spot. What's nice about these two spots right next to each other here, don't camp down here into the wash. Don't put your tent down here if we're gonna be getting rain, but really shaded. Nice shady spot. Look at all these trees. We have a nice little spot here under the shade of these oak trees. Beautiful spot. So we are on higher ground here. I was going to show you where the river, where the flood did flow. It's still pretty muddy and wet, but it came from this direction. It came all the way down through here. Still quite muddy, but it flowed through here. Walk around these bushes here. Still pretty wet. I saw some javelina prints here. There's some right there. They're a little harder to see right now. There's some. I don't know if you guys can see them. They actually come from over there. Those are all javelina prints. Let's see if I can get closer without getting too muddy. There they are. Those are all javelina prints. There's one. But yeah, so this water flowed right through here. Came up pretty high over here. And that wall I was showing you earlier, yeah, flowed right through here and went down over this wall into the two little shaded camp spots next to me. This mud's all dried up now, but you can see where it flowed pretty good. This was last weekend. This is what's left of it. Went down this wall here, right through these two little campsites. You can see right where it flowed through, and into the next tent site over, which washed out the campsite that people were in. I actually saw a cat over here in these bushes the other night. I couldn't tell what it was. It was small, kind of looked like a domestic cat, and it was orange. And it kind of ran off, and then I could see its little eyes shining at us through the bushes. So I'm glad I waited to come up here after the storm passed through. The whole entire valley had a flash flood warning, especially on this east side of the valley.